March 13, 2017, Felina and I. She came back to Bobcat Farm for some retraining. Her mother is this black and white paint, Kachina. I had bred her and started her only with the first handful of rides. She came back to Bobcat Farm 3 years ago, and I reworked her at my farm for I think about a couple months actually. Took her out trail riding alone here and to versatility competitions and multiple trail rides, and she never put a foot wrong. So I sold her to a nice lady who loves her to death, but in the last year she became spooky. This little horse is just sweet as can be. Doesn't have a lot of formal training on her. But I told the woman I would give her training for free forever if she ever had a problem. So she does not ride in the winter time, so every spring I'd come and ride her. So I had been doing that, but this year she was very spooky. Everything, even when I rode her and leading her back, she almost ran over my friend. I had to take over, and she was just out of her mind, afraid of everything. So anyway, so she comes back to my place, and I'm working with her. But you could see,
nice. That was a manhole cover.
This is a friend of mine that had never ridden or taken her to a versatility. I had trained her to go over obstacles, and she's just very willing, a lot of try. And now I hear and see that she was rearing. I didn't think she had a rear in her, just like her mother. No buck, no rear. Rearing on the lunge she did for me before I brought her to Bobcat Farm. So here we are, and this is my first session with her. She had come that day. I'm going to work with her the very first day with her owner and try to get them back together, and if not, then she would come back to me. So I'm asking her to go forward and disengage her hindquarters and then send her the other direction, just asking her to follow a feel, to yield and yield her hindquarters, and then follow a feel, just like sending her the first few steps of if you were going to send on the lunge line. She doesn't want to do it because she's afraid of everything in the ring. She's afraid of the wood. She's afraid of the yellow pole on the ground where I'm sending her now, and doesn't want to go over there. So when I twirl the rope, put pressure, I ask, and then I tell if she doesn't yield. So she was just so afraid she just couldn't even think. And after this footage, you will see the very next visit, which was, I believe, 2 days later. She totally gets it. So I am looking where I want her to go. When she goes a few steps, I take a rope, shorten it, and walk toward her hindquarters. Again, we're just sending her back the other way. Disengage your hindquarters. It takes a long time to do it. Go forward and move your hindquarters. Go forward the other direction and move your hindquarters. And the other direction. So I'm moving her down the line toward the woods and having her yield her feet and her body so she doesn't run over me, because that's what she wanted to do, just take her shoulder and run into you. So this is the exercise I do when I meet a horse, just to move his feet and get him focused on me. There she had looked away, so she wasn't paying attention when I did that overhand twirl. She's a little indignant, pinning her ears here and there when I asked her to move. She's a little pissed about it, because although she's sweet, she hasn't had to move her feet, you know, and I'm gonna kick her in the chest here in a minute, coming up, because I asked her to back up and she didn't yield. I have not lost my temper. Right here, wiggle, wiggle, ass, that's tell. It's just matter of fact, and you'll see that when I ask her after, she backs up a lot nicer because she's paying attention. I've never seen a horse threaten and then not carry out what he's asking the other horse to do, to move his feet, by going and biting or kicking or driving away. So I have to be persistent until she gives me a yes answer, or I'm going to try, or something of that nature. Remember, I just put her on a trailer. She hadn't been on a trailer in 3 years, and kind of rocked her world, because she's never had to do any of this groundwork. She's just been ridden, and when she spooked, the owner was hopping off her because she didn't want to get hurt. So this is all new. I mean, she had done this years ago, but new in the last 3 years. She's just been allowed to be afraid, and they had her tested for everything, Lyme, and you know, is it saddle fit, is it this, is it that. It's a behavior problem that needs to be addressed by becoming a herd leader. She wants to feel safe, and if I can move her feet, and that's going to help her to feel secure. So, again, just pulled her out of the pen. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I know.
She just needs to remember what you taught her.
It's crazy how fast she was, and then everything came back to her, everything I did, which I didn't have her wrong, but... So I'm hopeful to get her back with her owner. Good. That's a good.
That's awesome.
Wait until I get her up around the bend. I'm gonna pull her head. Eyes up. I'll do it straight to you here. Over.
And then this weekend,
This is my first time on her backs at Bobcat Farm. When I rode her a few months ago, she was very spoopy. And here she does
we're gonna,
really
try the
nice,
saddles on her.
especially since she's not ridden during the winter at all. So she hasn't
I
shown
think the
been
last
ridden
time
once in
she was ridden is when you both
quite a
came
few
out.
months. And she was really, really nice. I was really happy with it.
My stirrups are a little short.
My friend rode her right after I did, and she was just as nice for her. And also the owner had done groundwork, and she did well with the groundwork with her owner. And then a few days later, which is on video, but the camera lens wouldn't open all the way coming up here, I rode her again, and she did well. I started working on flexing, having her flex at the pole vertically to get her to get soft in the bridle. In this video coming up, I was trying to work on some leg yields and having her get into the bridle to collect a little bit, which I hadn't done before. So at first she was a little futzing with it, and then she started getting soft in the bridle. And so this is just my second time riding her. She threw a front shoe. Her owner puts shoes on her in the winter only, because she has to be let in and out, so she gets a little boredom on her. And right after this video was taken, we got a snowstorm, about 10 inches of snow. So anyway, so she's doing good. Have high hopes for reuniting her with her owner and getting them in sync together and teaching her the groundwork this time, because I didn't do it last time, thinking she could get by without doing it and just riding. And it did last 3 years, but it needs to be done so they can both be happy and both be safe. Because she is 70 years old, and she does not want to risk breaking a bone, and I don't blame her. So, thanks for watching.